Hi everybody. So if you don't know me, I am a third year, and something I've noticed at this point is that, every year there's kind of a different overarching theme, like big thing that you learn. For me, and I think for a lot of people, first year was about learning how to study, and then second year you learn, maybe I don't care about worms as much as I thought I did. And then third year you're kind of like putting everything together, doing more hands-on stuff. You do your first real surgeries. I will never forget doing my first spay. I spayed this like really cute little tabby kitten who is definitely not going to be reproducing anymore because she did die. But a win is a win, and I will not downplay my accomplishment. Like, God forbid women do anything. Third year is also when you pick your track. I've decided to major in a horse. I love horses. They're beautiful animals, and every day we keep one alive is a direct act against God. There are too many things they cannot do. Horses can't breathe through their mouths, which is why they famously don't like to go snorkeling. They also can't vomit, so they've evolved this really interesting response to when they have stomach issues. What they do is return to the arms of the Lord. If you've seen me before, you'll know I have a lot of thoughts on horses. Coincidentally, thoughts on horses is what I think we should call cowboys. My stand-up cheap dog food because it's like 40% horse material. In vet school, we have a lot of unique, unifying experiences, things that you don't really get anywhere else. Like, when you go to put your lunch in the Sadma fridge and you find an entire dead puppy? As far as I'm aware, that does not happen in law school. Or I think third years will resonate with this one. I think we've all had this experience. In junior surgery, it's your first go as anesthesiologist, and your patient is like anesthetized, prepped, ready to go, and you put your whole clipboard down right on top of the sterile area, have the worst anxiety attack of your life, and throw up in a trash can in the hallway. You remember that, right? But my finest moment last semester was actually during my P-Cal. So, I've told a lot of people this story already. So P-Cals are, the school will hire actors and give us scenarios and have us practice talking to the clients, but they're not really clients. I didn't need the practice because I nailed it, but my scenario was about a horse who needed to be put down, and I was talking to the client about body disposal options, and I made the very bad mistake of asking, "Do you know what rendering is?" And she said no. So I said, well, there's not really a delicate way to put this, but what they do is, direct quote, they chop them up, and they cook them down, and they turn them into animal food. Don't worry, it does get worse. I said, but we can't use pentobarbital in that case because, and I quote, "you don't want it to end up in dog food." Now, I know a lot of you haven't had communications yet, but quick pro tip, it is frowned upon to tell your grieving client that their beloved companion of 2 decades is going to be dog food. Just something to keep in mind in the future. I like to think of my personality as an NSAID because it's a non-selective COX inhibitor. have been a lot of doctors that have really supported me through my vet school career, and I'd like to take this opportunity to thank one in particular, Dr. Pepper. Couldn't have done it without you. Dr. Pepper and Echo 360 are really helping me through this program. Also, Cybox is a great resource, but I don't love that we get an email like every single time somebody uploads something, just because I don't love that reminder because I'm not really getting a lot of new items added to my box. Moving on. So for semester third year, we take a repro course. And repro is a really interesting field because it's full of euphemisms to try to kind of maintain the facade of clinical professionalism. Like horse repro brings us my favorite term of all time, wind sucking. Oh, you mean a backwards queef? You also you don't jack off a stallion, you collect a stallion. I knew this stallion once, total pro. He was brought to the same clinic regularly throughout the breeding season to be collected. And when he went into the trailer, he knew where he was going, he knew where he was going, he knew what he was gonna do, and he would get excited, and I was told what he would do in the trailer is self-collect. You know, I'm something of a collector myself. Hang on, give me a minute to self-collect my thoughts. When you collect a stallion, you use a device called an AV, an artificial vagina, because the field is once again full of cowards who refuse to call it what it is, which is a horse fleshlight. So it may surprise you to know that I've had some mental health struggles. What? No, you seem so stable, Anna. I know it's true. But I've actually figured out a really great life hack. I've life hacked my way out of my anxiety disorder. So I have a goblin who lives in my brain and tells me that bad things are gonna happen, but I figured out if I'm freaking out, I can just think okay, is that likely to happen? Or do I just think so because my mind goblin said so? And then I think, well, mind goblin these nuts. And then I feel better. It works literally every time. I did tell my therapist she was welcome to recommend that to others, so if you hear it from Amber, you know who to thank.